Again, now we've had a few complaints, Fish.
About?
Well,
is it about Grandad having his Grandad moments? I'm really sorry. I apologise on his behalf.
No. Remember what we said last show when we went at the top of the show, first show of part 1? Yeah. What did we say we were going to post?
Oh, that list.
Yes.
Did you post that list?
No, I didn't.
So you had a Grandad week, not moment.
Yeah, but we have both been busy this week. You've been busy training.
I've been busy working as well. I did 2 6 a.m. till 12 noon shifts.
Yeah. So we do apologise to everybody. We will get that done as soon as possible. We've got a lot to cover on today's show. Some quite interesting stuff that me and Vishal have come across. One being, yes, Windows 8 apparently.
Meant to be the first actual operating system solely for gaming.
Well, according to a few reviews that I've seen. Saw a small review in Micromart magazine. We're going to be talking about that today. Now, a while back, I can't remember which show it was, Vish, with your friend with the iTunes problem.
Oh, that was some of the early shows, I think. The second show or third show.
Yeah.
Where you did one show where I had loads of uni coursework to do.
Yeah. One of those lonely moments.
Oh, he loved it. Grandad used to be lonely all the time.
Well, right. Okay, guys. This is basically going to be structured around this iTunes problem. We're going to talk about Windows 8 and the new i7 processor, 6-core.
I'm so jealous. Whoever has that processor, I'm so jealous of.
Yeah, but apparently the prices are going to be sky high when it first comes out.
Sky high as in what?
As in £400 plus.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, yeah, but look at the dual core processors when they first came out.
Yeah.
They were expensive, and still.
Okay. I will be jealous of the people who buy it anyway because they probably got Shake as their first name. They're probably that rich. That's why they're spending that amount of money on it.
Probably. Or they could be Paris Hilton or some movie star that's going
to. Or have Abramovich as their surname.
Yeah, people with mega money who are into their IT. Okay, so now we've had our crack at each other for this, that and the other. We're going to play our next tune and then we'll be back after this and we'll be straight into the iTunes problem. Hope you like it, guys. Okay, this iTunes problem, as we said, it went back to, I think it was show 2.
Show 2 or 3.
No, show 3 was Internet Explorer versus Firefox. Show 2, because...
Oh, by the way, just for our viewers, our first track that we opened today, sorry, David again forgot to at least remind us that we're meant to be telling us what the tracks are.
Yeah.
Our first track that we had was Kevin Rudolph featuring Jay Sean, Birdman and Lil Wayne. I Made It, and it's called Cash Money Heroes as well. It's got 2 little names to it. Okay.
Now, as we said, the sync server error on iTunes, we found a solution for it. Well, actually, I found 3 solutions for it. And I'm going to give you the best solution that I know that's worked, and obviously Vishal's going to put his input to it as well. What rating would you give this? I mean, you read through my notes on this fix.
It's definitely got to be a red.
So it's definitely a red. So this isn't for novice PC users. We better let our listeners know that we've got a ranking system here in the show, which is basically, if we give information, we're going to rank it from red, amber and green. Red obviously being quite difficult.
Only people that are computer literate and know what they're doing should be really fiddling with this stuff.
Amber it's medium difficulty, and it can...
Most people can do it. Novices may struggle a little on it, but they should still be able to do it.
And then green, anybody can do it. Now, okay, I'll go through this, then we'll get Vishal's feedback on this. So basically, step 1, obviously, is do not plug in your iPod or iPhone or start iTunes. Step 2, you go to your control panel, which can be found in Start, Control Panel, and uninstall the following programs. Only these programs, nothing else. You uninstall iTunes, QuickTime, Apple Mobile Drive Support, and Apple Application Support. Just those programs, right? And then you have to delete the following folders from your computer. Now, XP users can find this folder in C, Documents and Settings, Owner, Application Data, and it's the folder that you need to delete is Apple Computer. You need to delete that completely from your computer. Vista users, I believe this is any version of Vista, wouldn't it, Bish?
Yeah, I think, and most versions of Vista will.
Okay. It'd be C user, owner, application data, roaming, and then application computer, Apple Computer, and then from there we go on to step. The next one, the next folder that you need to remove. This is the same for XP and Vista users. You go into C, Program Files, Common Files, and the folder you need to delete is Apple. Now, you need to, once it's deleted and you've put it into your recycle bin, you need to just empty your recycle bin and get rid of it. Now, step 4 is the difficult step. You need to remove all the library.itl files. Now, to do this, you go into your search function either on XP or on Vista, and basically it's for XP it's start search all files and folders, and then type in library, as in the library that you're going to take a book out from, and then at the end of it .itl, and then search drive C and drive C only. On Vista you click on computer, click on drive C, then type library.itl in the search section at the top corner, isn't it, Bish?
Yeah.
And then when all the files appear, highlight them all and delete them all. And then from there you go on to step 5, which is to restart the computer. Once everything's loaded up, you go to the following website to download iTunes 9.0. You go to http://www.oldapps.com/iTunes.php, and then reinstall iTunes and you're done. And then basically you can upload all your music and everything, and you shouldn't get the sync server problem anymore. Anybody who has any feedback on this, let us know here at PC Tech Radio. You can direct all your comments or questions that you have on this to Vishal at PCTechRadio.com, because Vishal's our software guru here on the show.
That goes for everyone who's been sending David all the emails and said please forward them over to him. I do actually have an email address.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's what we had to bring up, wasn't it? That you do have an email address for the show. It is Vishal, VISHAL at PCTechRadio.com. Now, Vish, you've had a couple of friends who have had this problem.
Yeah.
And obviously they haven't found a solution to it, but obviously we've picked one out, and everybody's going to say, well, what about Windows 7? Is it the same sort of thing? Obviously I'm still looking into...
Yeah, Windows 7 is going to be... It's going to be a while before everyone gets familiar to it, because it's not been out for very long. Like, for example, when XP first came out, everyone was struggling to get to grips with it because it took time. But now, if I told you, oh, here's Windows XP, everyone will know how to fix everything.
There's only 6 steps to that.
Yeah.
and we've said it's a red because it's obviously deleting certain folders, and if you delete the wrong ones or delete the wrong file, it could mess up the computer. So basically people are doing it at their own risk, aren't they?
Yep, they are.
So, you know, but here in the studio we've got I've tried this on the laptop and it works fine, and then I tried it yesterday and it worked completely fine. The only downside is it's not the latest version of iTunes, so you can update as normal once you've followed this step. This is if you have this sync server issue, which is sync server has stopped working. This is a problem that we tried to deal with in show 2.
Yep.
I tried to deal with it. I don't think I dealt with it very well because obviously we were just starting out and we're trying to cover various items on the show and with various other things. Now we're going to also be talking about the new game releases for the PC, Xbox 360 and PS3 and the DS for August. I can't wait for some of those games to come out on that list, yeah.
I saw a good one the other day.
Go on.
Talking about Tekken versus Street Fighter.
Oh, you were telling me about that. The
Yep.
Tekken versus Capcom, isn't it?
Yep.
So you're gonna have that means the Marvel games, Street Fighter.
No, this is just going to be Street Fighter.
Is it just going to be? Yeah, but which version though?
It's going to be the old one. It's going to be like Street Fighter 2 Turbo on the SNES.
Yeah, but
like
you've also got Street Fighter 2 Alpha, Street Fighter 2 Alpha 2,
Street Fighter 2 Turbo, the old one. It's going to have the original characters, so it's going to be like Dhalsim, Balrog, Bison, Sagat, Ryu, Ken, Chun-Li, Zangief. It's going to be the original characters. It's not going to have like T-Hawk and all them. They're not going to be in.
Yeah,
but they probably won't be in this.
I never used to use those characters anyway. They never interested me. So right after this, after this next track, we'll go into the game releases, and then we'll hit on a little bit on Windows 8 and what we've been reading about that during the week, and we'll get into some other things as well that we're trying to do this week and for the next show. So we'll be back after this. And Vishal, what's this one?
This is Jules Santana featuring Sizzler and Cameron, and the track is entitled Shutters.
Here we go. That was Vish.
That was Shutters, which is Jules Santana featuring Sizzler and Cameron.
Okay, now we were just discussing Windows 8 during the song break there. There's rumours and speculation of what it's going to be. They're going to target not just mainstream but enthusiasts as well. So I can only take by that they're going to allow people to make improvements here and there and things like that. So what else do you want to see from it, Vish, being our software expert?
I'm hoping that as an operating system it's going to be quicker. It's going to be a lot quicker. It's going to be a lot more powerful. And hopefully as well, graphically, it's going to be a hell of a lot better.
Yeah, but this is what everybody said. That everybody has said they want to see, graphic-wise, they want to see the new Windows operating. Okay, this iTunes problem. As we said, it went back to, I think it was show 2.
Show 2 or 3.
No, show 3 was Internet Explorer versus Firefox. Show 2, because...
Oh, by the way, just for our viewers, our first track that we opened today. Sorry, David again forgot to at least remind us that we're meant to be telling us what the tracks are.
Yeah.
Our first track that we had was Kevin Rudolph featuring Jay Sean, Birdman and Lil Wayne. I Made It, and it's called Cash Money Heroes as well. It's got 2 little names to it. Okay.
Now, as we said, the sync server error on iTunes, we found a solution for it. Well, actually, I found 3 solutions for it. And I'm going to give you the best solution that I know that's worked, and obviously Vishal's going to put his input to it as well. What rating would you give this? I mean, you read through my notes on this fix. Now,
It's definitely got to be a red.
So it's definitely a red. So this isn't for novice PC users. We better let our listeners know that we've got a ranking system here in the show, which is basically, if we give information, we're going to rank it from red, amber and green. Red obviously being quite difficult,
Only people that are computer literate and know what they're doing should be really fiddling with this stuff.
Amber it's medium difficulty, and it can...
most people can do it. Novices may struggle a little on it, but they should still be able to do it.
And then green, anybody can do it.
Yeah.
Now, okay, I'll go through this, then we'll get Vishal's feedback on this. So basically, step 1, obviously, is do not plug in your iPod or iPhone or start iTunes. Step 2, you go to your control panel, which can be found in Start, Control Panel, and uninstall the following programs. Only these programs, nothing else. You uninstall iTunes, QuickTime, Apple Mobile Drive support, and Apple Application support. Just those programs, right? And then you have to delete the following folders from your computer. Now, XP users can find this folder in C, Documents and Settings, Owner, Application Data, and it's the folder that you need to delete is Apple Computer. You need to delete that completely from your computer. Vista users, I believe this is any version of Vista, wouldn't it, Vish?
Yeah, I think, and most versions of Vista will.
Okay.
This, so.
It'd be C, User, Owner, Application Data, Roaming, and then Application Computer, Apple Computer, and then from there we go on to step. The next one, the next folder that you need to remove. This is the same for XP and Vista users. You go into C, Program Files, Common Files, and the folder you need to delete is Apple. Now, you need to, once it's deleted and you've put it into your recycle bin, you need to just empty your recycle bin and get rid of it. Now, step 4 is the difficult step. You need to remove all the library.itl files. Now, to do this, you go into your search function either on XP or on Vista, and basically it's for XP it's start search all files and folders, and then type in library, as in the library that you go to take a book out from, and then at the end of it .itl, and then search drive C and drive C only. On Vista you click on computer, click on drive C, then type library.itl in the search section at the top corner, isn't it, Bish?
Yeah.
And then when all the files appear, highlight them all and delete them all. And then from there you go on to step 5, which is to restart the computer. Once everything's loaded up, you go to the following website to download iTunes 9.0. You go to http://www.oldapps.com/iTunes.php, and then reinstall iTunes and you're done. And then basically you can upload all your music and everything, and you shouldn't get the sync server problem anymore. Anybody who has any feedback on this, let us know here at PC Tech Radio. You can direct all your comments or questions that you have on this to Vishal at PCTechRadio.com, because Vishal's our software guru here on the show.
That goes for everyone who's been sending David all the emails and said please forward them over to him. I do actually have an email address.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's what we had to bring up, wasn't it? That you do have an email address for the show. It is Vishal, Vishal at PCTechRadio.com. Now, Vish, you've had a couple of friends who have had this problem.
Yeah.
And obviously they haven't found a solution to it, but obviously we've picked one out. And everybody's going to say, well, what about Windows 7? Is it the same sort of thing? Obviously, I'm still looking into...
Yeah, Windows 7 is going to be... It's going to be a while before everyone gets familiar to it, because it's not been out for very long. Like, for example, when XP first came out, everyone was struggling to get to grips with it because it took time. But now, if I told you, oh, here's Windows XP, everyone will know how to fix everything. And
there's only 6 steps to that.
Yeah.
And we've said it's a red because it's obviously deleting certain folders, and if you delete the wrong ones or delete the wrong file, it could mess up the computer. So basically people are doing it at their own risk, aren't they?
Yep, they are.
So, you know, but here in the studio we've got I've tried this on the laptop and it works fine. And then I tried it yesterday and it worked completely fine. The only downside is it's not the latest version of iTunes, so you can update as normal once you've followed this step. This is if you have this sync server issue, which is sync server has stopped working. This is a problem that we tried to deal with in show 2. I tried to deal with it. I don't think I dealt with it very well because obviously we were just starting out and we're trying to cover various items on the show and with various other things. Now we're going to also be talking about the new game releases for the PC, Xbox 360 and PS3 and the DS for August. I can't wait for some of those games to come out on that list, yeah.
I saw a good one the other day.
Go on.
Talking about Tekken versus Street Fighter.
Oh, you were telling me about that. The
Yep.
Tekken versus Capcom, isn't it?
Yep.
So you're gonna have that means the Marvel games, Street Fighter.
No, this is just going to be Street Fighter.
Is it just going to be? Yeah, but which version though?
It's going to be the old one. It's going to be like Street Fighter 2 Turbo on the SNES.
Yeah, but
like
you've also got Street Fighter 2 Alpha, Street Fighter 2 Alpha 2,
Street Fighter 2 Turbo, the old one. It's going to have the original characters, so it's going to be like Dhalsim, Balrog, Bison, Sagat, Ryu, Ken, Chun-Li, Zangief. It's going to be the original characters. It's not going to have like T-Hawk and all them. They're not going to be in.
Yeah,
they probably won't be in this.
I never used to use those characters anyway. They never interested me. So right after this, we'll after this next track, we'll go into the game releases, and then we'll hit on a little bit on Windows 8 and what we've been reading about that during the week, and we'll get into some other things as well that we're trying to do this week and for the next show. So we'll be back after this. And Vishal, what's this one?
This is Jules Santana featuring Scissor and Cameron, and the track is entitled Shutters.
Here we go, guys. Okay, now we were just discussing Windows 8 during the song break there. There's rumours and speculation of what it's going to be. They're going to target not just mainstream but enthusiasts as well. So I can only take by that they're going to allow people to make improvements here and there and things like that. So what else do you want to see from it, Vish, being our software expert?
I'm hoping that as an operating system it's going to be quicker. It's going to be a lot quicker. It's going to be a lot more powerful. And hopefully as well graphically, it's going to be a hell of a lot better.
Yeah, but this is what everybody said. That everybody has said they want to see, graphic-wise, they want to see the new Windows operating system be a lot better. But how the hell can they improve the graphics from Windows 7?
Well, think about it. They improved it from Vista.
Yeah, but
technology is always getting better. There's always more improvements. Everything's getting better. If I would have turned and said to you 10 years ago, you're going to have something like PS3, which is going to have mind-blowing graphics. At that point, you would have only had like.
I'd have probably, to be honest,
like a Sony PlayStation.
If you'd have said that to me when the PS2 had come out, to be truthful, I'd have probably laughed in your face.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
no one would have believed the person who would have said it, but graphically, it's become possible.
Exactly.
I mean, cameras. Who would have known that cameras are going to be in phones?
Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, seeing the old mobile phone. I mean, I remember the old BT ones that looked like a bloody soap bar with the little mini aerial.
Yeah.
I remember having one of them on.
Do you remember the Nokia 402?
Oh, don't even get me started. But basically, so from Windows 8, obviously we're going to want a lot of improvements.
Yeah.
But
because it might be aimed at being a gaming operating system.
That's what I would like to see. No.
If they've aimed it as being a gaming operating system, it has to be quick.
Yeah.
It has to be graphically good. You have to have that. If you want
but that's just one of the rumours we've heard. Yeah. You know.
If it's just a normal operating system.
The thing is, if you look at it this way, right? From my perspective, I play games like Command and Conquer, Red Alert, Red Alert 3. Now, graphically, on the laptop that we have in the studio, superb. Yeah. Because the graphics are there to support it. But the next gen of your World of Warcrafts, your Red Alerts, your Half-Lives, they're going to be 10 times more powerful.
Yep.
And what I can't see, right, and I dream of the day that it'll happen, is an operating system that is purely dedicated to gaming.
Yeah.
You know, if this is going to be that operating system, I totally agree. Yeah, it has to be faster. It has to be slicker. It has to offer a hell of a lot.
Yep.
But still in the back of my mind, I think Vista. I've still got hang-ups from Vista, which Windows 7... with Windows 7, it's sort of, helped me get over the disappointment of Vista.
Yeah.
But I don't want Microsoft to release an operating system
so soon, straight away after Windows 7's only been out for a little while. Yeah.
They need to work on it. I mean, I've heard rumours that it's going to be out next year. Yeah. I mean, they started working on Windows 7.
They finished Windows 7. Windows 7's been out for how long? About a year?
About a year, 18 months, something like that.
18 months. If it comes out next year, it will have only been about a year and a half. Well, two years.
2 years, maybe.
2.5 years.
Yeah. But still, I don't think that's long enough.
No. If you're going to make an operating system that you want to be that good, I mean, to be honest, if they've started it from scratch and built it from scratch, 2.5 years, no chance.
Yeah, but the thing of it though, right? The thing of it though is, if they use Windows 7 as a base for Windows 8,
then it's going to be like, are you going to pay that extra for only a little bit of extra? So like, are you going to turn around and pay an extra 200 quid when it's only going to make a minimal amount of difference?
Well, I mean, look at Linux. I mean, every Linux operating system is free. Yeah. You can go on a Linux website and download it for free. Yeah. Right? The only one that I know that isn't free is OS X Leopard. Yeah. Obviously, that's for the iMac, and you can use Linux on iMacs and Apple stuff. We have been asked to cover that today, by the way. But, obviously, because we're novices at that...
we'll be covering it soon after we've done a bit of research on it.
Well, after we've done a bit of research, not only that, we're hoping to change all our equipment in the studio to Mac anyway, because the stuff that I've been reading about audio editing and video editing is superb. But again, going back to this thing of Windows 8, how, you know, say for example Apple bring out the first ever gaming OS system for the Mac, and then they can bring a whole host of games to the Mac. Because the Mac is the iMac, should I say, is such better quality than any PC you can build at the minute, as far as I'm concerned. Because I can't build the same specification as the Mac into a standard tower without going over $2,500. Easy.
And how much would the Mac be?
You're talking $1,500.
So you're looking £500 to £1,000 worth of savings.
Yeah, exactly. You know it.
But then it's like, do you want a Mac?
I do. Oh, I definitely do.
No, but there are quite a lot of people that won't budge from things like, for example, me.
Yeah.
I won't budge from having a tower to having a laptop. I would have a laptop and a tower, but I wouldn't get rid of a tower and only just have a laptop.
Yeah, exactly. It's not worth it, because
even in technology, like let me ask you a question.
Go on.
Would you buy certain things that you don't like? Like, would you buy a bottom end Dell computer?
No.
Right.
I wouldn't, simply because
I would buy Alienware.
Oh yeah, even though Dell own Alienware, but you know,
I would buy Alienware. No doubt about that.
I'd want Alienware. You know, we want them as a sponsor for the show. I'm going to say that. You know, we do want them as a sponsor. I'd love to have Alienware as a sponsor, including Microsoft, Apple. You know,
any big company.
Any big company, because you know they're all IT based, and it'd be brilliant. I know we're blowing our own trumpets here, guys, if you're listening, but at the end of the day, you know, you dream of these things. When you start something, you want to build on it, you know. But and that's what we want to do here at PCTechRadio.
It's like me with mobile phones. I won't buy a non-Nokia.
Yeah, but you know, like we've said, for Windows 8, I want the same as you, but I'm just hoping
your
that
hopes, we're not dreaming too much and asking for too much, and we're going to be disappointed with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because if you look at what happened with Vista, that was just a massive letdown.
I know. And I explained to everyone as well why it was such a massive letdown. Because it was absolutely ridiculous. I mean, how did you build an entirely new operating system within 18 months?
Yeah, but I was looking the other day. It was actually shorter than 18 months.
Was it?
It was 10 months.
10 months. So
according to some forums, it was less than. Some say 10, some say more than 10, some say, you know, less than 10. But
we'll say between 10 months to 12 months.
Yeah. And I'll tell you something, how can you go from XP, which, granted, had its problems, because, you know, any new piece of software does, but...
How did you go from XP, which had problems, not only solving the problems, but then finding time on the side to build a new operating system on top of it?
Yeah, exactly. It's a case of, how can you... bring out a new operating system. Yeah, it's public pressure. I think that's what it comes down to.
I said it in the simple terms that quite a lot of people don't understand. You got hustled when people spent their money and bought Vista.
Yeah, but the thing is, when Vista came out, it came out as the 3, didn't it? You had Basic, you had Home Premium, then you had Ultimate. Yeah. Everybody was saying go for Ultimate. It's got less problems. But Ultimate was the most expensive.
Yeah.
It's the same with Windows 7. Windows 7 is the most... Windows 7 Ultimate is the most expensive operating system.
Isn't the 64-bit more expensive than the 32-bit as well?
I haven't actually looked at that pricing, you know.
I think it is. I'm not sure about it. I'm guessing it probably will be more.
Probably. But the thing is, you know...
Yeah, if you get an i7 processor, you won't have a problem with it.
Yeah, we will be covering the 6-core Intel Pro i7.
By the way, we did actually have a quick look in the Minimart magazine, And you know,
and online, and it's
online, and we said your name's probably got to be Sheikh, or you got to probably have a brand which is your surname to be able to afford it.
Definitely.
You're definitely even more going to need to be richer than that, because
it's £600 plus.
Yeah, 600 quid is probably the cheapest you're going to get.
You may have to save for 12 months to actually buy it. We'll be covering that later on in the show, but again, we are talking about Windows 8. I know we're going off on these tangents, Fish, but we're just trying to give people their perspective. We do want to hear from you and your opinion on Windows 8.
But imagine Windows 8 with that i7.
You can't be saying things like that to me. You know for a fact I'm going to start wanting these things, and because that processor I want to put in this laptop. I want to put in the studio computer because I want it, but
it's that good.
It's that good. Now, I just like I said, I just hope that they haven't rushed Windows 8 and that they're not going to rush it. I know the earliest release date is going to be, I think it said next year, earliest release date. So I just hope.
But it will be what time next year? Because if they say like spring next year or summer next year,
yeah,
then I could think maybe they're rushing it. But if it's next year winter, then they might lengthen it even more and make it the following year, come February, or
well, I mean,
a year and a half away.
They may aim for the summer.
Yeah.
Because that's the primary months for purchasing of IT equipment and stuff like that. Because I think it's every year during the summer that schools renew their computer equipment.
Yeah.
Summer holidays. So it'll be one of those things. But I just hope and pray that they haven't rushed it, because otherwise it's going to be Vista number 2.
Yeah,
I can see it. But obviously me and you have our expectations, and we do want to hear your feedback on this, guys.
And I mean we're only like voicing our opinions. We're not kind of like slating Microsoft off and saying, "Oh, you're rubbish." Because if they were rubbish, we wouldn't be using Windows already.
Yeah, we wouldn't be using their operating systems, plain and simple.
Yeah. If we hated them or we really didn't like them, we wouldn't be using their software at all.
And plus, we wouldn't have done a 2-parter on Windows 7. Right. We're going to throw some changes in the music now. Vishal's got a big, massive grin on his face because he knows what's coming. I'm going Bollywood this show. I'm throwing in a couple of Bollywood tracks and an Ashwari Rai track as well from Doom 2.
Not bad.
So this one is actually a remix. The song's off the Hindi movie Doom, and it's called Shikdum, I think. That's what it's called, isn't it?
Yeah.
I pronounced it right, yes. And this is the bedroom remix, so I hope you guys like this. Good movie, actually. I enjoyed watching it. I prefer number 2 with Ashwari Rai though. But
do you know she was linked to get a role playing the Bond girl?
Yeah, but she
turned it down.
She turned it down because it's one of those roles where, I mean, come on, you've had Denise Richards, and things like that. With somebody like Ashwari Rai, I mean, she has, in Doom 2, she was scantily clad in some of the songs, but that was part of the movie. In the Bond movies, if you look, you have to wear a swimsuit, stuff like that, and
you have to have love-making scenes and everything. And she's kind of like not that sort of a person.
She's definitely not that sort of person. Well, yeah, definitely not. Especially, coming from the Bollywood industry and going in. I mean, I must admit, I did like Bride and Prejudice. That was directed by the same director who directed Keira Knightley in Bend It Like Beckham.
Oh, Bend Like Beckham.
Yeah, but come on, that was a funny movie. That was a funny movie, especially the opening credits. Come on, with the grandmother and the mother. When they're getting interviewed by John Barnes and Gary Lineker at the start. You know, come on, you cannot beat what is said. And plus, there was some really good Bollywood actors in that. I didn't know this, but the guy who played Jasminder's father, he's a very well-known Bollywood actor, very well-known. And I didn't know that. Now, obviously, we went off on a tangent there, but hey, that's what we do 9 times out of 10 on this show, isn't it, Mish? Right, now, we've got a few games coming out in August for the PC and for the 360 and things like that, and the Wii. Now, Mish, do you own a... Obviously, you've got a PC in it, but do you own a Wii or PS3 or DS?
No.
None of them?
No.
Why?
Because half the time I don't bother to play online. I don't bother to play games.
That's true. Right. Well, basically, you've obviously seen them, like the challenge games on the DS.
Yeah. I've seen all the games and I know
the Brain Train and stuff like that. We've got 2 coming out for the Wii. This is the Challenge Me Brain Puzzles 2 on the Wii, PC and DS, and then you've got the Challenge Me Word Puzzles Wii, PC and DS. What do you think about that? Those games. They are fun to play, but I find them annoying.
They're fun to play for people who sort of like.
But
people who don't play a lot and people who aren't too fussed about games.
Yeah.
People who just want to have a little bit of fun and just want to play anything. It's good for people like that. If you're a serious gamer or you want something challenging, it's not really a game for you to be playing. Like for example, if you're someone that's very strategic, games like World of Warcraft and things like that, they are your games.
Yeah.
Right. But if you're a strategic person but you don't want something that challenging, then what you do is you play like a first-person shooter game.
Yeah.
Like, for example, Half-Life or something.
Yeah.
It involves a little bit of strategy in it, but not something that's going OTT.
These games are available in August. You've got 1, 2, 3. I count 4.
Oh yeah.
5,
by the way,
6.
By the way, this is how much attention I've been paying to this. Has Gran Turismo 4 come out?
No.
Still hasn't come out yet.
I haven't seen anything.
Because they made the prologue like about a year and a half, 2 years ago.
I know. I haven't seen it on the shelf yet. I know it was meant to be released for PS3, Xbox 360, and
honestly, I remember Gran Turismo 1 when it came out on the PlayStation.
Oh,
that was
stop it.
That was the greatest racing game that I'd played.
Yeah. Right. On this list of games that we've got coming out in August for next month, I don't know if I've counted these correctly, but I count 16 flight simulation games. One game that does look interesting is Ascension to the Throne. Now, that sounds like something...
That Prince of Persia Sands of Time.
Yeah, something along those. But I think... I'm going to look into this game more and we'll cover it next show in the free-for-all, because...
I think the new Prince of Persia that came out, or the last, I think.
Have you played that one yet? Cause
I haven't played that, but I think my mate did buy it, and my mate did say it was a really good game.
Yeah. Now, another game that's taken my fancy, which is out on the 16th of August, is FBI Paranormal Cases.
Oh, God.
Yeah, but come on. You've got movies coming out like Paranormal Activity and...
You haven't watched Paranormal Activity, so...
Yeah, I know, because I can't be asked to... It's... I don't know what it is. I heard so many bad reviews on it, and...
It's like...
I watched the end... You know them video clips you told me to watch of the endings?
Yeah.
Well, we're not going to say what they are, because we don't want to spoil it for anybody who hasn't watched it.
There are... The thing is, the reason why we know that it's not a real movie is because there are 3 alternate endings to it.
Well, it is a real movie made by Hollywood, blah blah blah. But you know,
no, not a real movie.
Oh, it's not. Yeah, it's not one of those movies.
Yeah.
It's not a true to life thing. But basically, I'd heard so many bad reviews on Paranormal Activity. Not just that though, watching those clips, yeah, they're scary, but I need something that really fucking grabs in your heart, grabs into your chest, pulls out your heart, so you can watch it still beating. It's
and then makes you swallow it and go back in.
Yeah, but basically the one that I will.
He likes to swallow.
Stop being disgusting on the show. That's going to be edited out.
You ain't edited, get out.
Right. We have to behave ourselves because I don't want to have to put another explicit label on this show.
You already have to. You said the F word like 30 seconds ago, live. So you're definitely going to have to put it in.
Did I?
Yep, you did.
See, I'm having a granddad moment again. See? Right. But I need something like that. I mean, one movie that I watched recently is Jonah Hex.
Yeah.
That movie is amazing.
Have you watched this film called The Last House on the Left?
Yes. That really made... And if you really want a movie that will literally have you jumping out your skin,
Go on.
Unborn.
No, I think I might have seen that.
Okay, we're getting off the topic of computers here a little bit and going into movie territory, but...
Oh, we can't go into movie territory because these movies can be in DVDs and can be played in the computer and DVD drives.
Okay,
so we can link everything back to a computer.
We can link it all back to a computer, so that's fine. Now, we're going to be talking about the new i7 processor. Me and Vishal saw a review for this, and oh my god.
Sorry, I don't want one, I want two.
Yeah, but that's... Dude, you're talking 1,200 quid, maybe more.
Could you put two processors on the motherboard? Imagine.
There is you can do that, but only for a server.
Imagine if you put two i7s.
Stop it! I can't be.
Two i7s on the motherboard.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Do you know? Just for the people, like when we're ready, like the i7 coming out. It's got 6 3.2 gig processors, so you're talking like
mega.
Almost 20 gigs.
Mega.
But almost a 20 gig processor basically.
Apparently, according to most reviews and Intel's website, they'll be out early 2011, so next year. So normally processors are normally released. I mean, it's not January time, is it? It's normally March to April sort of time.
Yeah.
If they say early. So, but maybe we may be in luck. Do you know what? I'm so tempted to get one on trade at the moment.
Oh god.
I'm so tempted to get reserve one, and just so we can see
and witness
the speed on that's going to be phenomenal though.
Imagine putting that with Windows 7 or Windows 8.
Oh, yeah, but can you imagine? You can get boards now that can hold 16 gig of memory.
Oh, 16 gig DDR3.
Yeah, that board that I was telling you about the other day.
So think
16 gig DDR3, almost 20 gig processor.
And Windows 7 or Windows 8.
I would say Windows 7 for now. I'm not dissing Microsoft, but anytime they release an operating system, I don't buy it straight away.
Yeah.
I read the reviews first and do my research.
I mean, if you're really, really keen and you're not fussed about things having problems and stuff,
yeah,
go and buy it straight away.
Well, the thing is, with the stuff that we do here at PCTechRadio, Vish, I mean, you know yourself, we've got a lot of research on the computers here.
I mean, this doesn't just go for operating systems, it goes for all forms of software. This even goes for mobile phones.
Yeah.
If you want a mobile phone, don't buy it when it comes out straight away, because the first 2 or 3 batches of every mobile phone have always got loads of faults and errors on it.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I remember my mate waited 4 hours in the queue. He had his iPad reserved, and I've got
to tell you something.
He got his iPad, and then he's like playing on it and stuff, and he's like fiddling around with stuff. And this is no word of a lie. I couldn't stop laughing because I was talking to him about a week later, and I said to him, "Oh, how's your iPad doing?" And he goes, "It's so rubbish." And I was like, "Why?" And he goes, "It's fallen out on me 4 times already. Like it stopped working, it would freeze, and he'd turn it back off, he'd turn it back on. Once it completely stopped working, didn't work. Took it back to the Apple shop. They ended up having to format the whole thing.
Yeah. My friend did the same. He was advised to get an iPad because basically you can take it in. It's slim as anything. They do look the business. They're slim as anything. They're superb bit of equipment, but it's just a glorified iPhone. The thing that you can't make phone calls on. And I was trying to say this to my mate. He said, would you ever buy an iPad? And I said, no, I'd rather buy an iMac.
Yeah.
Because it's the same thing apart from you can't have the apps on it.
Yeah.
But what he was buying it for, he would take it into a lecture and you can just sit away there typing.
Yeah.
Instead of being there with a pen and writing and knackering up your hand.
Well, you could use a laptop. What difference would that make?
Exactly, but he waited in the queue. I think he got into the store at about 1 in the morning. And no word of a lie, he had it a week. Same thing. Similar thing, but he got over it freezing.
Yeah.
But what he tried to do with the iPad was set up all his mobile me accounts, his email accounts.
Yeah.
Like he did with his iPhone. And it wouldn't allow him to do it. So he literally had to take it in to the Apple store and get them to sort it out. But the thing is, these gadgets.
You spend that amount of money on it, and then it doesn't do its job that it's meant to do.
Yeah, but the thing is, these gadgets come out and everybody wants one. All of a sudden, everybody wants one. It's like when Windows XP came out.
Yeah.
I waited before I went and bought it.
Remember when the original iPod came out? Everyone wanted one.
Yeah. I put off buying myself an iPod for such a long time.
Yeah. I still haven't bought one, and I don't want to buy one.
I eventually bought one. I mean, we've got it here in the studio, and unfortunately, I'm having a few problems with it at the minute.
Yeah.
But
hence why I don't buy one.
Yeah, but I have had that one for a long, long time. I've had it for about 4 or 5 years. So it's coming up to, if it's anything like a PC, it's coming up to the point where
it's at the end of its life.
Yeah, because it's got a small internal hard drive.
You've got cover on it.
Yeah, but it's out of its warranty now.
Is it?
Yeah. So I may have to if I have to replace it, I may have to pay something towards it. I'm hoping I don't have to, but I'm going to find out Monday because I'm going to go into the Apple store on Monday and
show it to them and tell them you got a problem with it.
Yeah. So because it's not syncing any of the tracks, it'll charge the battery, but it won't sync any of the music from iTunes, and it won't.
Also, did that bit actually work, where it charged it up and everything?
Yeah, it's on full charge now, but
it doesn't sync anything. Does it play?
It won't. It refuses to write it to the disc on the iPod.
Can you play any of the tracks?
No. So I'm assuming the disc inside is gone. So I'll find out when I take it into the Apple store on Monday. Okay, so we're still in this processor. I so want one. I really, it's one of those, but we'll be back after with more on the processor, I think, and what we hope to dream. We can dream of having it, I suppose. But we're going to try and cover some more games as well, guys. This next song is Vish.
This is Huey Lewis and the news. Do you believe in love?
Yeah, this is from the TV show Chuck. For anybody who's watched it, it's quite a good comedy with spies, guns, explosions, as Jeremy Clarkson says. Proper man movie. Well, proper man TV series, should I say. Okay, here we go, guys. Song break. We decided to do a bit of net surfing, and oh my days. Guess what's on sale, guys? Visual? Let them know.
It's the i7 processor.
The new one, the 6-core, running at 3.33 gigahertz. What's the price?
£702 including VAT.
I want one. Okay.
You ain't getting one.
On a serious note, on the site that we found it on as well, they do a 3-year warranty, which is how much extra on top?
£161.
And the 5-year?
No, the 3 years £101, sorry, and the 5 years £161.
Now, as you said to me on the break, you for something like that, you have to get 5-year.
Because this is not going to get outdated in 5 years' time. It's not like DDR2 RAM. DDR2 RAM maybe in 5 years might be outdated.
Yeah, but DDR2 RAM's obsolete now.
Yeah.
I mean, you can pick it up for next to nothing on eBay. But oh my days, I want this. Now you best not have bookmarked that website. I tell you.
I've bookmarked it.
Oh, do you know what? Do you know what? I might see if any of the suppliers for PCTechRadio have got it in and get one on trade account. But yeah.
Oh, by the way, do you remember when I was doing that little search? I said in order of price.
Yeah.
Do you know I found one that's more expensive than that? Because obviously it's a lot better.
It's not the extreme version, is it?
Well, it's the Krypton Intel Core i7 3.2 GHz at 4 GHz overclock bundle. Yep.
Okay, tilt the monitor this way. Hold on.
Right.
We are broadcasting,
Yeah.
so just
Solid optimized 4 gig overclock profile.
yeah.
Pre-built overclocked and configured, just plug and play. 6 gigabytes of triple channel DDR3 memory.
Yeah.
X58 chipset provides SLI and Crossfire ready for any GPU configuration.
Right.
SATA 6 gigabyte a second and USB 3 compatible.
Okay.
6 core processing for lightning speeds. The bundle specification is an Intel Core i7 3.2 gig at 4 gig, Asus P6X58DE DDR3 motherboard.
Okay, that's the board that I told you can hold 16 gig.
The RAM Corsair XMS3 2 gig DDR3 1600 MHz triple channel RAM.
Okay.
For the cooler, a choice of a Cassapp Venom CPU.
Okay.
And the Arctic Cooling MX3 thermal compound.
Yeah, that's the thermal compound that goes on the.
Full 12-month collect and return warranty as well with it.
Okay, I'm guessing this with the look on your face, the price is well over £1,000.
£1,154, including VAT.
Delivery of.
I'm hoping the delivery will be free. Oh, and finance available on it as well.
Oh, bookmark that.
Oh, he's like, oh, you better bookmark this one.
Bookmark that because we can see. I'll tell you what. I reckon we should put a system together. We had promised by show 20 that we'd have a gaming system up and running, didn't we? So I tell you what, we'll try and get things going for PCTechRadio. We'll build a gaming system and then we'll put it on eBay to raise a bit of money. So that sounds like a good. But yeah, guys, the processor is out, is available, and for those who have the money,
if your first name was your last name Sheikh,
yeah,
I'm sure you can afford it.
Yeah, or Paris Hilton, or any movie star,
Abramovich,
any movie star in Hollywood, because
your first name's Tom and your last name's Cruz.
Yeah,
Maybe you might be able to afford it.
No contest. Oh, going off topic for a second. Did you watch Top Gear?
Yep.
Oh my god. I don't believe the speed Tom Cruise went around the track.
I mean, I'm not being funny, but do you know quite a lot of people don't think that he can drive quick because he's a Hollywood celebrity. Let me put this to you in simple terms.
Go on.
Do you know what car he's got?
Oh, we went through a list of cars. Do you know the thing that surprised me? That bike that he's got, that custom-made bike to his body.
There is a car that he didn't say in that list that he does have.
Go on.
He hasn't borrowed it from somewhere or off somebody.
What? He's actually bought it.
Yep.
So where have you got this information from?
I've actually seen a photo of it. he's got out of it with his missus.
With Katie Holmes.
Yep.
So she's got one as well.
No. I said he's driven it.
Oh, and she's been in the car with Surrey and their children.
She's been in the car with him. It's
Okay. What?
The Bugatti Veyron.
Ooh.
And you're wondering why he can drive quick?
Yeah, but has he got the?
He hasn't got the new Veyron.
The Sport.
He hasn't got the Sport.
Oh, he hasn't got the Sport. I'll tell you something.
That is the best car I've made. That is the best car I've made.
Do you know what? I'm putting a challenge out to Jeremy Clarkson, James May and Richard Hammond. Get me on your test track. I want to drive that Veyron. Even though I haven't got a driving licence, Quan, you did it for Johnny Vegas.
Yeah.
You know, I want on the test track. Get me in the Veyron. But the one thing that cracked me up, Jeremy Clarkson being sick when Cameron Diaz was doing donuts in the car. But how close were their times though? He beat Cameron Diaz by
a second.
By a second.
A second in lap times is a million years.
But what creased me was what really had me in stitches was Clarkson's face when he saw Tom Cruise doing really. He goes, "We almost killed you." Oh, that was mad. But anyway, yeah, by a second. But yeah, these processors, I think this is going to be the next step, isn't it?
Yep.
Now, we did have one question regarding processors actually.
Yeah.
But I wanted to get your take on it. A lot of people are saying AMD. Now, I haven't seen an AMD equivalent of this processor.
No. Nowhere near. I mean, it depends.
I've seen their quad core, but
it depends what you want out of it. Like, for example, if you're just after a decent processor, you can get an AMD.
Yeah.
No
AMD are specifically built for gaming anyway.
Yeah.
But with this processor, you're not going to want to get an AMD for gaming?
If money's no object to you and you're after the best Intel.
Yeah.
Intel by far.
Yeah, but the thing is, there's always been that difference between Intel and AMD.
Yeah.
AMD have always been built for gaming. Always. And they've always they've said, people have said, oh no, you can use AMD. Yeah, you can use AMD for word processing and stuff like that. Standard operations, but they're primarily built for gaming. But with this 6-core processor, oh my days, you're not going to want to go an AMD because you're going to have the speed, and with that
6 of them,
and with that motherboard, you know what I mean. DDR3 can go up to what? You're talking 4 slots on that board. You're talking 4 slots on that board,
yeah.
Right? So you're talking 4 sticks of 4 gig. You're talking 16 gig RAM. Even with a 1 terabyte hard drive, you're talking like goose grease off a shovel. You know what I mean? That's it. And can you imagine in an Akasa case with a Venom heatsink? You're talking major things there, to be honest. Also, had another software question for you as well, Vishal.
Go on.
From the many emails that I've got in my inbox directed to Vishal. Maybe you want to give your email address out before I ask you this question, so that people know where to address the software questions to.
It's vishal@PCTechRadio.com.
Okay. Now, this question is in relation to what we spoke to before the start of the show, which was somebody upgrading to Windows 7 and they're having a problem.
Oh yeah, you were talking to me about this earlier. Yep.
So basically, to give you a bit of background to everybody who's listening, the easiest way to upgrade to Windows 7 is to already have Windows Vista Home Premium installed. But Vishal, the question was, when they get to the bit to select the hard drive,
yeah,
it's saying there's only a gig of space on the C drive. They've got no other programs apart from the operating system running. No other programs installed. or anything like that. It's just the OS, which is Vista Home Premium, and it's just saying there's a gig of space left. Now, my gist of it would be to basically remove the partition completely and create a brand new partition to get the full size back.
Yep. You can do that directly in Windows as well.
Yeah, but how would you go about, well, not how would you go about doing it, but what advice would you give to sort of try and correct this?
I would say to them that depending on what you've done in terms of your actual partitioning, have you only partitioned it so it's only got a set amount of space for the operating system? Because if you've done that for Vista doesn't take up as much space as Windows 7 does. So what you need to do is delete your partitions, get your C drive, however big it is. All in one. So if your C drive is, say, 125 gigs, and what you've done is you've made it 20 and then 105, or 100 gigs, and then you've done something like that and you made it 100 gigs. What you need to do is you need to split it again and make it like 30 or 40 gigs C drive, and then your second drive you can split and make that 80 or 90.
Because
so you need to do something like that.
As we covered in the last two shows, Windows 7 needs a minimum of 16 gig. So you do it that way, would you, Bish? And then go from there.
Yeah.
And then try
I mean, I'm sure the people that have actually written this question, they do know what they're talking about, because they are talking about partitioning hard drives and stuff.
Yeah.
There is the other way of doing it as well, which is disk management, which is in your control panel. If you've got your control panel, you've got disk management. In there, you can partition the drive and you can delete partitions and stuff in there. Do make sure that you do follow everything first. Back your computer up as well.
Yeah.
You've backed your hard disk up already. You've got yourself an external, transfer everything over to your external, just in case something does go wrong and you've lost everything. Or you've backed it onto DVDs and burnt it all onto DVDs.
Yeah.
Just so you haven't lost anything.
I mean, just to say to everybody, we know this show's been all over the place today, but we've put together a lot of information and stuff.
Yeah.
But the next show is the free-for-all show. Now, we want your questions for us to answer. Bring some difficult ones for Vishal. Please. We want to try and trip him up. I'll also take up the challenge, and
he's talking about trying to trip me up. I'm going to trip him up now. I'm reading a bit of a review that people have written about the i7 processor.
Okay.
And, they go, the way Intel develops its chips is now what it calls a tick-tock cycle. The tick is the improvement of its current microarchitecture.
Okay.
It's mainly shrinking it down to make it more energy efficient, along with other tweaks. As you can now guess, the tock indicates the launch of a totally new microarchitecture. For instance, there was a tock to the Core 2's tock, shrinking it down from a 65 nanometer process to 45 nanometers. The i7 is a completely new microarchitecture, and they're saying that it's going to be for years on end. It's going to be very good. It's also said there's going to be a goodbye, good riddance to front side bus. Yep. The normal FSB stuff that we have between the CPU and the memory controller hub.
Okay.
Normally it didn't work well. It started talking buckets of cores and stuff.
Yeah.
And now it's got a new technology called Quick Path Interconnect, which makes the old bottlenecks history and running tons of cores even better. So
basically, what it says there then, it's going to run a lot smoother.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. That's quite. Whoa. I definitely want one of those processors now, I tell you. Now, as we've said, the free-for-all show is show 14. I'm still working on editing the album. For those who have missed any of our previous shows, we can be downloaded through our podcast server, which is Podomatic, and things like that. So
there is one last bit as well.
Go on.
Built-in power management and overclocking.
See, I've never been a fan of overclocking a processor.
Now listen to this. Right, the Intel Core i7 is pretty much a B story. This is what they're talking about.
Okay.
Whereas Intel used to say that overclocking was bad for your processor, which is what you just said. Wasn't a good thing. Now the Intel Core i7 has got it built in.
So hold on. So it automatically overclocks.
No.
Or do you still have to do the adjustments?
You can still do the adjustments, but now, basically, before Limp Boosted, before, whatever it had before, you can overclock it, but you're overclocking it in the sense that the processor only offers this much. You overclocking it, you're doing it at your own risk.
Yeah.
Now,
which is what the state was when first overclockers started doing it. So what's the difference here?
Right. Now, the Core i7 is really aggressive with power management, more so than the Core 2, which was there before. So it'll sip juice when it's not busy and then crank up the power when it needs it. In the BIOS settings now, you can set it to overclock the CPU in certain situations and customize that by thermal rating so it won't overheat.
Oh, you are kidding.
No, I'm not kidding. So the Core i7 gets our engines running and we're not even chip nerds. This is what they're saying. Sadly though, right now there's just a few iCore chips available. They're all for desktops. There's not much of a downside for portables, saves for the new motherboards and DDR3 RAM used up in premium laptops.
But come on. Thing is, you're going to put this in a desktop. You're going to be playing top-end games. All I can say is...
Oh, it's so funny. There's a user around here called... Well, actually, I won't say his name. But
say the name. Say the name, because...
A user called Strider MT2K.
Okay.
And he's written in the on the about the article, and he's written, put comments afterwards, and he's put in capital letters. He's put on one line, he's put want, on the second line he's put will, on the third line he's put have.
That's what we're like though with this processor. That is what we're like. But yeah, guys, like we've said, the next show 14, will be the free for all. We know this show's been all over the place today because we've had a different aspect and different things to cover and this, that, and the other.
Let me put it to you this way: I want this as much as anything. I want this in the Alienware.
Oh, don't even go there. Oh.
I want this in an Alienware desktop.
Oh.
I want this in an Alienware desktop.
Question: if anybody from Dell is listening to this podcast, please
get your hands on this and send us an Alienware.
Yeah, get your hands on this processor and send us one, and we'll do a bench test and everything for you, and we'll do it on the show. Please. But obviously, we're gonna play the next song, and then we'll tell you more about show 14 and what questions we're looking forward to answering and things like that. So, Vishal, this is one of your tracks, so what's this one?
And this is Kano featuring Craig David, This Is The Girl.
Hope you guys like this. This is actually quite a good track, isn't it, Vish? I mean, this is the clean version, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay, so here we go, guys. Hope you enjoy this track, and we're back right after this.
Craig David, This Is The Girl.
Okay, now we've just been reading some more reviews on this i7 processor, and I have fallen in love with it, I'm telling you now. Vish, I mean, what's your take on this processor? I mean, we've been reading things like...
It's how can I put it to you, like I was explaining to you?
Yeah.
Like that GTX graphics card that we saw the other week.
Yeah, the Nvidia one.
Right. Like that, it is now the king of kings.
Yeah.
It's up there, it's at the top. Nothing is going to budge it off for a long time.
Right. I'm going to personally now, and I think Vishal will agree with me on this, we've never, ever attempted anything like this on PCTechRadio in the past. We've mentioned it slightly, but we've never ever actually done this. I'm doing a shout out to Microsoft, to Alienware, to any IT company that wishes to sponsor PCTechRadio, because seriously, you know, we want to start doing really. I know we
also want to help. Like for example, Alienware. If Alienware sponsors and Alienware say to us, we've got a new desktop. Test it out for us.
Do a review.
Rather than, for example, them putting it for sale, someone buying it, and then someone giving them a review and saying it's absolutely rubbish.
Yeah.
And atrocious.
We want to do that.
We want our money back, and people giving Alienware a bad name. If you give us a desktop and we tell you that it's bad, we'll review it. We won't tell the whole entire world that it's bad or anything like that, or there's something wrong with it. But we can report back to Alienware and say, you've got problems with such and such. Right, we'll give it back to you. fix it, or make the changes or whatever you need to. Tell us what changes we need to make to it. Give it back to us. When we get it back and we test it and it's good, we can then turn around and say to them, right, Alienware sent us a system. This system is absolutely brilliant. There are no faults with it.
But bearing in mind, we have never had Alienware software or equipment.
I want it so badly.
Oh yeah.
I want it so badly.
I'm giving a shout out to those companies, seriously. Any IT company out there, such as Microsoft, Dell for Alienware because they own Alienware, Apple.
Astonishing.
I mean, what did I show you, that 21.5 inch iMac that we want for the studio equipment?
Yeah.
Oh my days, I'm telling you.
What was it, 2.5 Gs?
Yeah, but that's including our
software
and everything that we need. Also, on a lighter note, see, we've never ever done that before on PCTechRadio. We've mentioned these companies, but I'll tell you something. It's about time we actually stuck our foot out in the water, so to speak, and basically just gave them a shout out, because anybody who listens to this podcast who works for Microsoft or Alienware or Apple, you know, we want to give the best to our listeners. We do get listened to. I mean, our RSS feeds alone, they go by 1,000. They increase by 1,000 a day now. I'm going to go on Podomatic one day and see our RSS feeds, and it's going to be over 5,000 or over 10, you know. But obviously people are going to be listening to this going, haha, yeah, that people aren't going to listen to two guys who all they want is money. It's not money we want. We want to review this stuff properly, because we are getting a lot of questions on, I mean, some of the questions that I told you about this, we are getting a lot of questions on iMacs. We don't know nothing about iMacs. We want to basically give the best.
I mean, it's a win-win situation for everyone.
Yeah.
We test the software or the hardware, and we tell you what's right and what's wrong with it. You find out in an easier way, rather than your reputation getting ruined and people on forums
it's not about reputation, because companies like that have got enough money to do it. It's a case of we're getting asked these questions by our listeners to review it. You know what I mean?
Well, it's a yes and no about the reputation thing. Because
look at Dell. Look at the basic systems of Dell. I mean, no disrespect to them. I mean, there's too much in them. I mean, for example, your Dell.
Yeah.
Although it looked nice on the outside, it was way too heavy, and as you said to me when I fixed it that once, it was overheating too quickly.
Yeah.
You know, whereas when you build a PC, you've got enough space in your case to add other things in there. You
almost broke your wrist when you were trying to carry that.
Broke my wrist, cut open my arm.
Yeah.
And that was just trying to get it upstairs. You know, but we always said if we were going to...
But if you look at Dell's top-end systems, like their gaming systems...
Alienware, Alienware is just...
Fantastic.
I mean, what was it? You went on their website when we were first starting the podcast.
Yeah, when we first started the podcast, I went on there and I found their their top-end desktop.
Yeah, but
their base model was £2,899.
No, it was $1,500.
No. £2,899 was the top-end base model. That's the
that the basic one?
That's the basic one.
Okay.
And then I put everything on there.
Top-end spec, wasn't it?
Top-end spec, all the warranties and everything on there. And it came to £5,300.
No, I would love a system like that.
No.
I think a message to Alienware, I think this is Vishal trying to hint. But as we've said, you know, people, Vish, on a serious note now, people are going to be listening to this podcast and going, they're only giving a shout out because they want the free stuff. It's not about free stuff. It's not about money. It's nothing like that. We want to give the best. We're getting a lot of questions regarding Alienware products. We're getting a lot of questions regarding Microsoft products and Apple products.
Yeah.
I mean,
like I was saying, for them and for us, it's a win-win situation.
Yeah.
We get to test the software and the hardware. They get the feedback that they want.
Yeah.
I was saying.
As everybody knows, as you know, we're not gonna say, oh yeah, it's great when it's rubbish. We're gonna literally speak
the truth.
The truth and say
honest opinions about it.
It's rubbish, because at the end of the day,
it's fantastic, but you've got one or two small changes to make, or we didn't find any problems with it. It's that good.
And at the end of the day, to Microsoft as well. I mean, Microsoft deal in operating system software. We did criticise them heavily in show 3, but we have our reasons for that.
Yeah. Like we said, we gave constructive criticism. We didn't basically just split them off and say to them that
we did our research.
You are the worst people ever. Or we didn't say anything like that. What we basically said was we did use your software and we did try other software. Yeah. And other software was a lot better than yours.
Exactly. So but as I said at the start of this, we've always said that we weren't going to give shout outs to Microsoft or anybody like that, but anybody listening in, if you work for Apple, Microsoft or Alienware, contact us at the show via our main email address, which is admin@PCTechRadio.com, or you can contact myself, David, at PCTechRadio.com,
or Vishal at PCTechRadio.com,
and basically we can make arrangements if anybody from those 3 big corporations ever listen to this. But if not, we can always send them a nice letter, can't we? And beg, hands and knees, crawling on our stomachs, across broken glass, under barbed wire, anything, just a bench test, some decent stuff.
Oh yeah.
Because I'll give you an example of a couple of the questions about Alienware. Obviously we've mentioned it in past shows.
Yeah.
On how good that. Everybody's saying, how do you know it's good? They're good systems from something that you can build yourself, or
the simple thing is,
the best one was, why would you give Alienware free promotion? When you're saying it's always better to build your own PC. Well, at the end of the day, when it comes to gaming PCs,
they're different.
It's a different calibre. Completely different.
One, they're difficult to build. 2, you need very, very specific parts and very, very specific bits of software.
Well, for an example, for a basic gaming system, now this was one that I was thinking of building myself. Ages ago.
So you would have got i3 processor. At that point, you would have got an i3. Forget the i7.
I would have got an Asus Striker 2 motherboard, which alone, when it first came out, was 200 and something. Well, over 300 quid, I think it was.
It's £300 for that.
Right. It would be the Cashapp Mirage case, which is 120 quid when that first came out.
Right, so we'll say 425.
Yeah.
We'll round it up, 425.
Then that motherboard at the time could support maximum of 8 gig memory, but I would have brought Crucial Ballistics, 2 gig sticks with heat spreaders, and for the 4 gig packs, because they're for a gaming computer, when you build one, you need something called matched pairs.
Yeah.
Which means each pair that comes off the production line, they're in number sequence. So they have serial numbers. They're in number sequence. That's my understanding of matched pairs. £125, I think they were at the time.
For
4. For each for 2 sets.
So 250 quid on that.
Yeah.
So 675 quid.
Then you're talking your graphics card.
You would have spent at least 200 on that.
No. More than that. You would have got either for gaming, I always go Nvidia.
Yeah.
ATI are superb. Not discounting ATI because they do some good gaming cards, but World of Warcraft and games along those lines use Nvidia as standard.
Yep.
From what I know, the card I was going to buy was a 2 gig graphics card on PCI Express.
Yeah.
SLI capable, because it was at the time when SLI was just coming onto the market. Each card was around 200 quid.
And how many of those would you have put? Two. Right, so that's £1,075 right now.
Right. Then
Sound card.
I always use onboard sound.
Okay.
But for a gaming computer to get the full aspect, I would have bought Creative Labs surround sound.
And how much are they?
Well, you've got I think it's called the iSound. I'm not too sure on the name of the card, but it's a 7.1 surround sound card.
Yeah.
With the speakers for 190 quid.
Right, so right now you're looking about 1270.
Roughly, yeah. And then obviously to play if you're just purely gaming,
yeah,
you can go one of two ways. Projector, which is way too expensive.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't bother with
But I was looking at a 52-inch TFT monitor at 1,600 and something quid.
So £3,000.
Yeah. So basically, it's mad.
Now you haven't even got the keyboard and mouse,
Or the hard drive yet.
or the hard drive yet, or the optical drives.
Yeah.
How many USB ports and stuff you got at the back?
Well, the case had 4 USB ports at the front,
Yeah.
6 at the back.
Yeah.
The hard drive I would have gone for would have been 2 500 gigs, because you couldn't get terabytes
At that point.
at that point. They were just being released, but people were saying that they weren't going to buy any because
They wouldn't trust them.
they wouldn't trust them, because it's, too big a hard drive. Why would you need that big? You know what I mean? But so I'd have got 2 500 gig hard drives, and optical drives. I mean, you had a Blu-ray writer. If I was being, if I wanted full top end, I'd have gone Blu-ray all the way on both of my optical drives. So that I'd have had a Blu-ray writer, I've had a Blu-ray player drive.
Yeah.
So, for all that alone at the time, that's what, 300-400 quid.
Another 800 quid, so £3,800.
Yeah. So you're getting close to the top end spec of Alienware prices.
Yeah. So why not, rather than wasting all your time, labour, delivery charges, everything like that.
That's what. Also, it excludes delivery
and VAT.
And VAT. Well, VAT will be included because
some of the prices might be without VAT. And so you might be looking. We said 3,800, so you'd be looking £4,000. With
£5,000.
Well, four and a half grand.
Yeah.
So if we say £4,500, £4,500 for that, you would just kit up Alienware. It's £5,000 with the warranty and everything.
Exactly. And the thing is, we get questions every week sent to us. We have a laugh and we have a joke on the show. We sometimes go a bit too far, when taking the mick out of each other.
Grandad.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, this is what we started PCTechRadio for. To have a laugh, to be informative about certain things, and now we want to push it to the next level.
Yeah.
And we want to do that for our listeners. So for all you,
we're still not going to change. We're still the same people.
Yeah.
We're still going to be having a laugh.
Yeah.
We're still going to be putting music on. We're still going to be listening to your
We're
questions.
still going to be sponsoring our. We're still going to be hoping to raise money for our main charity, the Minds Advisory Group, who we support here. And for all the cynics out there, they're only doing it to get free stuff. Well, plain answer, wouldn't you? Plain and simple. But we want it. We want this. We want the software. We want the equipment, so we can test it to answer these questions that we're getting. Because there's no way that we're going to spend that amount of money
buying it to test it.
Yeah.
Just to test it.
Because how would we make that money back? It's a case of, if we bought it and tested it and then wanted to get rid of it, we'd get rid of it to raise money for charity.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. anything that we'd get given off a sponsor to test, to bench test, we'd probably sell it to raise money for the charity that we're supporting. Plain and simple. And to all the cynics out there, yeah, of course we're going to do it to get stuff for free. You know, I know it sounds horrible saying that, but
it's not. It's not. For example, we're going to get the stuff for free and we're going to sell it off and make money off it for our own personal benefits.
Exactly.
We're not doing this for our own personal benefits. We want to test it, but in general, we want to test it for our personal benefits. We want to test it
because we want to see if we want to use it.
Yeah. we want to see how good it is, because this is the stuff that we've been wanting for such a long time.
Yeah, you know, I mean, today's show. Yeah, we've had a laugh, we've had a joke, and it's been all over the place again. You know, because obviously it was a last-minute rush to get everything together. But at the end of the day, it's, you know, we always said that if we were going to do a shout-out for potential sponsors, we would never do it over the podcast. But I think it's come to the point now, and I think you'd agree, Vish, that, you know, there's so much good stuff coming out nowadays, and there's so much more, with the questions we're getting, we need to be able to provide those answers. So, again, anybody from Alienware, Apple, Microsoft, if you listen to this podcast, I'm just going to put it out there. You know, get in touch with us, admin at PCTechRadio.com, or Vishal at PCTechRadio.com, or David at PCTechRadio.com. You know, we'll get back to you, we'll discuss maybe some options if they're available. Now, we're getting close to 15 minutes off 2 hours.
Yep.
So we've run a little bit over on today's show. So, guys, this final track is one that I promised at the top of the show, which is one sung by Aishwarya Rai in Doom 2 in the Hindi movie, and it's called Crazy Kyare. Have I pronounced that correct?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Have I or haven't I? How's it
close, good enough.
How's it pronounced in Vish?
Close, good enough.
How's it pronounced?
I'm not going to say it on radio.
Ah. Okay, guys. I hope you enjoy this. This isn't the remix. I've played the remix in the past, but this is the normal track, and we're logging off for this, the 13th show of PC Tech Radio. We're hoping to have the album out, say, by show 16.
Yep.
And available in our online store. Again, any issues with the online store, contact us at admin at PCTechRadio.com. Please take a look at our online store at www.PCTechRadio.com, with 10% of anything purchased going to the Minds Advisory Group. Guys, we're logging off, and we'll see you next show. Bye.
See you later.